The 9/11 Magazine, Episode 23, Sporting Spirit, Crossing Borders, the new Porsche 911 Dakar, Road to Daytona, Porsche returns to the top league in racing. The tale of the ducktail, how the Carrera RS 2.7 got its legendary rear spoiler, and On Guard, wheelchair fencer Oliver Lam-Watson and his 911 GT3.
Mit dem Fahrzeug kannst du im Prinzip alles fahren.
Das macht süchtig. Gell? Es geht vorwärts wie am Asphalt. Gell?
Das zeigt halt das 911-Konzept vom Le Mans-Sieger bis zum Offroader.
Der 911 Dakar bringt dich in Ecken, wo bisher 911 noch nie hingekommen ist. Wir haben spezifische Fahrprogramme in dem Fahrzeug, den Rallye-Mode, gerade für schnelle Etappen.
Das Fahrzeug hier ist im Rallye-Design-Paket dargestellt. Dieses erinnert an den legendären Gesamtsieger der Rallye Paris-Dakar von 1984.
Wir sind hier im Offroad-Modus unterwegs.
In Offroad, wo sich das Fahrzeug dann nochmal um 30 mm Bodenfreiheit gewinnt über die Liftfunktion.
Wir haben unser Allradsystem an Bord, eine regelbare Quersperre. Wir schauen hier primär auf Traktion.
Wir machen erstmalig All-Terrain-Reifen für so ein Fahrzeug. Extrem grobstollig. Hat eine doppelte Karkasse. Ist super schlagfest, der Reifen. Und performt einfach sensationell.
I mean, how can you imagine to have a car, a road car, suddenly who can fit to a track like that? It was impossible before to drive, to think about it.
Testen ist bei so einem Fahrzeug durch nichts zu ersetzen.
Ja, das ist der Anspruch, wo wir an das Fahrzeug haben. Das muss überall auf allen Kontinenten, auf allen Bedingungen klarkommen.
Dieses Paket so zu optimieren, dass ich wirklich super auf der Autobahn fahren kann. Aber ich fahre eben auch hier durch die Wüste, über Geröll, auf Schotter, auf Eis und Schnee. Es geht, es ist halt ein Elfeier, kann's.
To have such a nice 11 in your garage, suddenly to say, okay, let's have fun on a gravel or on a jump and so on, you have to be a little bit crazy.
It's really a once-in-a-career opportunity to work with Porsche and Team Penske and compete on this international stage. Being on a manufacturer program and racing against other manufacturers, and especially the number of manufacturers that we're talking about, I don't think sports car racing has seen that since the late 80s and early 90s. It's really a dream come true.
To be able to run in both series, IMSA and WEC, with the same car, that's a first. It's a very exciting time we have ahead of us, and we're all looking forward to this. The car is 6,300 some numbers old now. Every day we learn and we do big steps on the technical side, but also on the operational side. It has to work in the end, because working for Porsche and also with Penske as a partner, there is not much room for just trying. It has to work.
This program is huge, and even before the LMDH thing, it's bringing Porsche and Team Penske back together. So, a huge manufacturer that's heavily involved in racing, and then a huge racing team together. And it's the first hybrid race car that Team Penske's raced, but it's also really the first hybrid race car in a complete US series. We've had milestones from October where we received the first chassis and assembled that to go for some rig testing, and then there was a milestone to assembling the first wind tunnel car, and then a milestone of running it on the proving grounds at Weissach. And so this is just another step adding to each one of those.
So we're here in Daytona now in September. We've been testing the car now for about 8 months at a number of different tracks all around the world. Daytona is one of the most special races we have of the year, also one of the most difficult. When you have new teams, new cars, you go straight into the biggest, most important race of the year. It's a little bit different from WC and Le Mans, where you kind of build into it throughout the year. The main unique feature at Daytona is being a roval track, we would call it in the States, using a big portion of the NASCAR circuit on the banking here, and then coming through traffic, so coming through the GT cars in bigger packs. The kind of flow of this track works quite well, I think, for an endurance race. Good passing opportunities, it races quite well, and you can really kind of use the traffic to your advantage. Poses some big fights and big races. Over the past 6 weeks, we've seen Cadillac join us in running their car, BMW join us running their car, Acura as well. And with more cars running on track, that's really encouraging and positive to see. It also bolsters the environment and the attitude, and everybody within the program gets really excited about it when we have tests like that. These endurance races, it takes the entire team to win, and nobody can make any mistakes, and you have to be able to respond to the issues when they come, because they're going to come. I think it's an exciting time for sports car racing, and the global program that we've put together and all the work that everybody's putting in now is quite important for making sure that's successful.
It is something very special. We will have an extremely tight championship. There will be strong competition. You need to get every little bit right. The origin really comes from the RS Spider. And then we took this engine and we used it from the RS Spider to the 918. The basis was developed at the RS Spider, but it's not that we took one-to-one this engine to the 918. So there were always changes. We developed it further. We modified it to the special demands of the use, and that's again what we did here. I think it's fair to say that we're really proud and happy that we now can take this engine and modify it really to the purposes of the LMDH class. It's not a naturally aspirated engine, it's a turbocharged engine, it's a twin turbocharged concept. The displacement of 4.6 liters, it's about 700 horsepower, but the engine can do a lot more than we're allowed to use in this car. think it's a great sound and I really love it. I hope it will become one of the iconic ones, mainly related to the fact that we are successful, that we probably get our 20th overall win in Le Mans, 24 hours of Daytona, Sebring, hopefully both championships, and then it will become an iconic one.
Porsche and duck? That doesn't fit together, or does it? We're in the year 1972. Back then, the 911 was supposed to get even faster and homologated for motorsport. The problem was that the aerodynamics did not live up to what the chassis and engine promised. The developers had to pull something out of the hat. The holy 911 silhouette got a pat on its backside. They called it ducktail. It was a rear spoiler. It created stability and a higher top speed, and even won the designers over. The Porsche with the ducktail was born, the 911 Carrera RS 2.7, Germany's fastest production vehicle at the time, and an extremely coveted collector's item today.
Anyone can do what I did. I'm not special, I was the most average kid at school, I hated sport, but I wanted something, I wanted it enough to really pursue it and dedicate my life to it. My name's Lam-Watson and I'm a Paralympian. I was born with a disability and around the age of around 9 I went on crutches when my disability got a little bit worse, and after I finished university I went to go see a doctor, and he basically said, listen, you're never going to be an athlete, you're never going to walk or run again normally. And I kind of took that upon myself and thought, well, I don't know, maybe he's right, but I need to find out for myself. So I found wheelchair fencing and I threw myself at it. I trained from 0 to 100 overnight. I started training full time. Managed to get selected for the national team, and 4 years later got selected for Tokyo. The Paralympics was an incredible experience, and to come back with 2 medals, it was a dream come true. I own a Porsche 911 GT3. When I'm driving the car, I get this feeling that I'm on a level playing field with other people, and for once in my life run as fast and be as quick and be as agile as everyone else. And I think that's something that I don't really get on my crutches in day-to-day life. I want to show the journey, I want to show the goods, the bads, and I think no one really teaches you how to be disabled and how to grow up with a disability. So all the content I do is for the younger version of myself. It's to show people, with the YouTube videos, with the Instagram content, with the TikTok videos, it's to show people what disabled people can do. I think people have this horrible image of what a disabled person is, and it's not true. It's not true. I think one of the things I love about wheelchair fencing, it's a combat sport. It's super intense. But at the same time, there's tactics, there's distance, there's timing. It's like physical chess. For me, I'm not saying everything is possible. I'm not saying, you can do everything all the time. But that's for no one else to tell you.
First of all, you have to adjust a different mode. On the rally stage, I put the off-road mode because I was thinking it cannot be so extreme. But at the end of the day, I went back to the rally mode. You have to be a little bit crazy. But I'm sure that a lot of them will push the car on the limit.